Welcome to Beyond the Coverage. I'm Chris Horner. In today's episode, I want to go back and talk about Mads Pedersen's solo win at Gent-Wevelgem on yesterday's Sunday race. Now, we know he was spectacular, there's no doubt about it, and you look at the interviews after the race, Mads Pedersen calls it, could have been a stupid move. His words, not mine. I agree with him, kind of, sort of, but not exactly. Much like Mads Pedersen explains to you guys later, there's some reasons that can benefit the team for Mads Pedersen being up there solo because they have Johnny Milan in the race. And as we all know, Johnny Milan is a very good sprinter. Is he a classic winner? Well, we don't really know that. And it's a 250-kilometer race at Gent-Wevelgem with 13 bergs and cobblestones. There's a lot of stuff on the menu for Johnny Milan to be able to get over and get to the finish and be able to win the sprint when it's a 250K race. But we know Mads Pedersen is something special because, of course, we just saw him at E3 Saxo Bank battling it out with Mathieu van der Poel, where Mads Pedersen got second at E3 Saxo Bank. I believe a little bit of a knucklehead at E3 Saxo Bank because he didn't wait for Filippo Ganna. If we go into E3 Saxo Bank, remember, if you see a big guy like Filippo Ganna getting dropped on the cobblestone climbs, that doesn't mean he's done. If he was dropping a pure climber on the cobblestone climbs, well, you know a pure climber can't help Mads Pedersen to bring back one Mathieu van der Poel, but one Filippo Ganna getting dropped on the climbs, he's the biggest guy of the three there. You wait for him, he does some power on the flats, and he gets back. Possibly up to Mathieu van der Poel. Won't ever say it's 100%, right? 20%, 30%, 40%, whatever number you want to come up with in your book is the chances of Mads Pedersen and Filippo Ganna possibly catching back up to Mathieu van der Poel. And some of you say 0. Okay, I'm fine with that. Now, we come back into this race and into the interview where he said it was stupid. I won't say the move was stupid so much as I will say that it needs some stupid luck to make it work for Mads Pedersen to go solo at Gent-Wevelgem. So what am I talking about? Okay, let's go into the race just a little bit. Not dramatically, it's not the butterfly effect, so let's go back into the race a little bit. And we know at 100 kilometers ago, my man Victor Campenaerts, Visma bike, bridges across the gap up to the group of the breakaway that started the day early. He's bridging about a 30-second gap. He gets up there quickly. He's riding on some good form, clearly, and using the aerodynamic position to get up there. Now we got a solid group up there. But the fact that the time was down so short means this group's been riding pretty hard, and the fact that the peloton was split up in pieces when the cameras came on proper means that everybody's been working hard. Lidl Truck's done a good job of staying at the front. Visma bike did a good job of staying at the front early in the race, and Victor Campenaerts made it up to that front group. Now, we start coming into Kemmelberg, and we see that Mads Pedersen's getting aggressive, but it really doesn't start to split things up until we're about 75, just under 75 kilometers to go when we get onto the dirt paths and we start coming through the farmlands and we start going up the hill. That's when Mads Pedersen really starts blowing things up. All right, he blows things up, and this is where he needs some stupid luck on his side. It's not really a stupid tactic that he did, but he needs some stupid luck for sure, because right away he starts splitting it, and there's 4 riders in the front group. We see the Lotto Destiny riders in there, Arjens. We see he's at the back of the group, just hanging off the back. We see that it's Jasper Philipsen from Albacete de Koenig, and we see Olaf Koy's in this group. Right away, we see the arm come up from Jasper Philipsen going to the radio. That means he's got issues, and they're going slightly downhill on a gravel road. They're coming in a left turn. We see the Lotto Destiny riders just catching on the back. This is going to take out Jasper Philipsen, the mechanical issue that he has. So he's going to pull out Lotto Destinies. Arjens is going to bridge up there. We got 3 riders in the front group. We look at the peloton in the back. It's getting blown up. It's single file. People, bodies, bikes all over the place as everyone's 1, 1, 1, 2s, 3s, 4s, and groups all over the place. Right now at this moment, Lidl Treks, Mads Pedersen has blown this race to pieces. As he's going through the zigzag section, we see him come out of the zigzag. He's got the Lotto Destiny rider on his wheel, but he is missing Visma bike, Olaf Koy. Then we see the 2 riders come around the picture. We see Olaf Koy way in the back of the picture there. That's Olaf Koy sitting on the hillside. Later, the camera will find the Visma bike rider as we see he's holding his arm. Okay, stupid luck. This happened in a very, very short amount of time. Now it's on gravel, of course, so stupid luck seems to happen a lot of times to road bikes when you're on gravel, but still, you needed Albacete de Koenig, Jasper Philipsen, who's clearly on good form because he made that split right away. You see him have the mechanical. You see Olaf Koy crash on what, if I show you the aerial view, is not such a technical looking left and right zigzag here through the forest section there on the farm roads, but clearly on dirt roads at the speeds that Mads Pedersen's going, Olaf Koy couldn't handle these off. Now, what else kind of stupid luck does Mads Pedersen need? Well, he's drilling it, and he gets Lotto Destiny Rider. He's getting some help and pull. Not massive pull, but a little bit of help. And he's going to bridge up to the group up in front at about 64, 65 kilometers to go. As he's bridging up, we go back and we look at Jasper Philipsen, and they're doing a barrage for the cars there after Jasper Philipsen got his bike changed. He's getting a little grumpy. Then finally they let the car come by. They give him a bottle. He's got two teammates sitting at the back of the peloton now. And we see that's Timo Kilic up there and Fabio from Albacete de Koenig. Both riders waiting for their sprinter who they believe is on good form. Okay, Jasper Philipsen gets on the back. Mads Pedersen's closed the gap up to the riders in front. We'll call it 10 riders now, 8, 9, 10. Right in that aspect, but it's a lot of riders. So now the other kind of stupid luck that Mads needs right now is who's going to work with him? It's 65 kilometers to go. Mads Pedersen's the outright 3-star favorite here at Gent-Wevelgem. So working with Mads that you can't drop on the climb, and Mads that can outsprint you, and Mads that can drop you on the climb is not necessarily an intelligent move. But yet guys start working with him. Now a lot of guys start working with him. Visma Lease bikes. My man Victor Campenaerts is pulling with Mads Pedersen right now and drilling it. So I'm not going to call my man Victor Campenaerts a knucklehead, you know that. And no one else should be calling him a knucklehead either, but one's got to question what my man Victor Campenaerts doing on the front with Mads Pedersen. All right, we come into some of the next climbs to Monteberg, and we see that it's Alexei up there from Total Energy drilling it. Why is he on the front drilling it right now? He's drilling it hard with Mads Pedersen on his wheel, and then he's going to get popped along with the EF Education rider, Max. With these two riders getting dropped, now this group is getting really thinned down, and we're coming back onto the Kemmelberg again, and my man Victor Campenaerts is on the front. Victor, I don't know what you're doing on the front right now. I'm not going to call you a knucklehead. I've already said that. Now I'm saying it a second time, but what are you doing on the front on the Kemmelberg? Victor Campenaerts is drilling it up the Kemmelberg like crazy, and then what happens? Well, we all saw this coming, right? Mads Pedersen lights everyone up. My man Victor Campenaerts throwing out the ugly face on the front as the gap is extending out to Mads Pedersen quickly after the work and help that Victor Campenaerts did back there to lead Mads Pedersen up the Kemmelberg. Well, there we go. We see Mads Pedersen solo. Now, some of the more knucklehead tactics that have to happen back there. The three riders, when we look back there, my man Victor Campenaerts, we see that's two-door cycling there, and that rider's Marco Haller. He's coming through. And we see that's the Lotto Destiny rider. Arjun's up there pulling those three riders. Those three riders are working together as the gap is still increasing dramatically up there to Mads Pedersen. And these three riders, they need to decide at a moment, notice right now, if they can't make this gap, they got to go back, because when you look at Visma Lease bike, for certain, he's got teammates back there because Jorgensen's back there. But we're running out of climbs for Jorgensen to be able to win if he's going to be able to get away from anyone. But maybe if they all work together back there, Jorgensen and the peloton could get back up to the front up here quickly, because, you know, Jasper Philipsen, Bora Hansgrohe were on the front back there. So Ineos pulling on the front, but each team with just one guy. Bora Hansgrohe won. Ineos just had one guy, and these teams couldn't get together. Even Pseudo Quickstep's not getting on the front, and Albacete de Koenig have been in the group for about 3-4 kilometers with Jasper Philipsen, and they haven't gotten to the front yet either. Okay, Jasper Philipsen did a lot of work, so it might take them a little bit more time, but they need to get to the front. Finally, we do see Albacete de Koenig get to the front, but then they're not getting any help from any of the two teams or three teams I just listed, plus Pseudo Quickstep's not getting on the front. They have Tim Miller back there. So there's a bit of chaos, and that's what's allowing Mads Pedersen to keep extending the gap on everyone, and he'll extend this gap up to about 2 minutes. Now we'll start seeing that gap come down the last time up to Kemmelberg, up the other side to Osier, and then as Mads Pedersen's punching it up this, he's dropping just a little bit of time of about 20-30 seconds to the group back there. That's all kind of attacking each other up there, but no one's going to be able to bring back Mads Pedersen unless you can get 5-6 strong guys all on the same page. And they still have the three riders in between. So then will Visma Lease bike, will two-door cycling work? Will Lotto Destiny riders work if they go up the climb and they're in the front group? So there's a lot of stuff happening on Mads Pedersen's side. Even if I back the film all the way up to early in the film, we'll see Albacete de Koenig, where they had some bad luck with Gianni Vermeersch having a flat tire, and then Robert Gies, he had an issue with his chain while going up the Kemmelberg, I believe it was the first time, and he had a chain problem there, so that took out riders. Now, like I said, just like I said with Olaf Koy, the gravels, the cobblestones, it always takes riders off, so you got to learn how to adapt. And Albacete de Koenig and the other teams in this group of about 90 rider field back here with a lot of speed. back in this group. A lot of speed. There should be more guys on the front, but Mads Pedersen still just holding a 120 gap when we start getting into the city and then crossing over the start line here. He's still flying with about a 1 minute 20-second gap, and it's 20 kilometers to go. Now, the other thing that's going to work in his favor, as he mentioned in his interview, it's a tailwind. And as I always tell you guys, it's hard to bring back a rider with any kind of power left in his legs because the tailwind keeps the speed so fast that the percentage that you could go faster in the group back there, 1-2 kilometer faster than 60K an hour or 55K an hour, it's not a high percentage, so the time doesn't come down fast. On top of that, when we look at the group back there, they're still not riding on the front. They're still not well organized back there, and Lidl-Trek have come to the front with 4 riders. I mean, they have Alex Kirsch back there, they have Tom Squinge, they have Johnny Milan, and they have Stuyvens back there that's at the front of the peloton slowing everything down. That's not dumb luck, that's great team tactics right there, so that's helping out Mads Pedersen. We come into 1K to go, Mads Pedersen knows he's going to win, comes up to the line, sits up and starts celebrating, congratulates his team on the jersey there, and then it's arms up high as he wins. Gent-Wevelgem, not for the second time, but the third time in his career. Won last season, won this year, back-to-back, and he won in 2020. So Mads Pedersen gets 3 victories as he crossed the line here. Now what happens back there at the field sprint for the podium position? Well, we see Lidl-Trek leading out. I'll call it Jasper Philipsen on the front, and he's going to lead out Johnny Milan into about 250 meters to go. Johnny Milan's going to hit off the wheel, but he's got Tim Miller on his wheel. Tim Miller hits off of the wheel of Johnny Milan at just under 200 meters to go. It's a drag race to the line with a bike throw, spectacular bike throw from Johnny Milan and from Tim Miller, but Tim Miller will get the second place. Johnny Milan will round out the podium for Lidl-Trek to get first and third on the podium here of Gent-Wevelgem. Now, was it a stupid tactic? To go back to what Mads Pedersen is saying, I don't know if it was stupid just because you had Johnny Milan back there, but it was definitely stupid luck that allowed him to stay out there for a lot of it when you're talking about that breakaway rider there of multiple riders pulling with Mads Pedersen. You don't want to pull with Mads Pedersen. Now, they have one upside of reason that they could possibly pull with a Mads Pedersen if they can hold off the peloton behind, but you got to not get dropped by Mads Pedersen, and you still have 5, 6, 7 climbs to go for him to drop you. If you were getting over the last climb, Mads Pedersen was there and you pulled into 20K to go, 15K to go, 10K to go, and you started attacking him, and you're a group of 10, you're a group of 7, Mads can't cover 6 or 8 other guys individually himself, so tactically you might be able to get away from Mads Pedersen and win again Wevelgem. But with 5, 6, 7 climbs still to go, big bergs, cobblestones, and Mads Pedersen, who's clearly on good form, well, I don't know if that was tactically a smart move. Well, yeah, I do know. That was actually knucklehead moves pulling with Mads Pedersen. But Mads, congratulations. Spectacular. 3rd victory at Gent-Wevelgem. Of course, we got some more classics coming up, and it's going to be highlighted next weekend with Tour of Flanders. Mads Pedersen's going to be there. He's going to have to battle against Mathieu van der Poel. Jasper Philipsen looks like he has some very good form coming back into his legs, so we should see him there, of course, with Mathieu van der Poel. And then will Wout van Aert, the big guy, come in with good form? Because we know Tadej Pogacar is going to come in with some very, very good form. He's won it before, and Mathieu van der Poel's won it before. Can Wout van Aert put his name on the list? Well, like and subscribe. When we get there, you know I'm going to call it for the butterfly effect, so I'll see you guys real soon.